All right, Broncos country, welcome back to the Mile High Monsters. It's Dave and Mike, and we are about to spend all of Walmart's money. Not that that's even possible. David, are you ready to spend some cash and make this team a Super Bowl favorite if they're not
Dude,
already?
I am. We're just a few days from free agency. It looks like Broncos are already kind of getting a little busy today. We saw this Alex Palcheski signing. So, man, I'm pumped, man. I'm glad we're able to talk about what's happening today.
Yeah, it's good to see. I was glad to see the Pal re-signing or the extension. It's not an extension, but signing 2 years. I haven't seen the numbers on it yet, but does this spell the end to Powers saving the Broncos $9 million or 50-50 shot, or what do you think there?
Yeah, I think so. I think it seems like a lot of people are thinking that the Palcheski contract will be like 2 years, 12 or 13 million, something like that total.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when you can get potentially your starting left guard at that amount compared to, Ben Powers on the cap for like 20 million this year.
18.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, 18. I think that, man, hopefully the Broncos, they're able to trade him. Ben Powers has been a good offensive lineman for him. That's why I had him in my thumbnail. I said, I hate to see you go, but man, this is just business. Sometimes you got to go with the more cost-effective option because we need to reinvest resources into other parts of the team now.
Yep, we're going to get into that. We're going to spend some money. Palco played 10 games last year, dude.
Dude.
It wasn't like he was only in there for 4 games. He played 10 games, showed out well. Great move by the Broncos. The new league year starts on the 11th. The tampering starts on the 9th. So next week, we'll probably learn some stuff before then, David, but it's interesting to watch some of our competitors, I guess, or playoff competitors. So far, I've got my notes here. Rams got Trent McDuffie from the Chiefs. Screw them picks, right? I mean, the Rams
Right.
just you probably saw the like of the last 10 first round picks they've traded all, but maybe one of them for a known commodity. I'm a firm believer in doing that. Why take a guess when you can get somebody to bite on your first round and get a known commodity good player? The Bills got DJ Moore. The Bears just robbed them blind. Did I get that right? The Bills, DJ Moore. He's 90 years old, and they gave up all kinds.
So they gave up. What was the trade? What was the trade with the Bills?
I'll have to go to my bookmarks for that. But the last one I want to just quickly, the Texans are making moves. They went and got David Montgomery from the Lions. I was not in on Montgomery at all. He's going to be 29, and they paid a ransom for him as well. So maybe the Broncos are still good at free agency by not doing anything yet. But I guess your thoughts on I don't know, these 3 big moves. I guess they're the biggest moves so far: the McDuffie trade, DJ Moore, and the David Montgomery. And then I do want to see what DJ Moore was actually.
Yeah. So with Trent McDuffie going from the Chiefs to the Rams, this is great for a Broncos fan in the respect that I don't think Kansas City is going to have a very good defense this year. They have a lot of holes to fill on that defense, and they have now lost because I doubt Jalen Watson's going to be re-signed. If you were going to re-sign him to cornerback 1 money, you probably just would have kept Trent McDuffie. So they're going to have some new starting corners, some young guys, probably Noel Williams. We'll see if they're able to keep Leo Chanel, but he should be a Bronco. That's my thought. And so this is great. If they want to trade a number 1 corner to reinvest a little bit in their offense or their terrible offensive line, that's great. I still don't think the Chiefs are a playoff team next year. Maybe that's a way too early take. We'll see what they do this offseason, but I don't see them as a playoff team. So cool move for the Rams. I am annoyed, though, that the Chiefs pick 1 pick ahead of us.
Yeah,
They they'd go get a running back or an offensive lineman right before us, or a wide receiver right before us. And that is, or tight end. A lot of our needs are kind of the same. So that's a little annoying.
Yeah, don't like it at all, especially with the Chiefs. They're pretty good at the draft anyways, and they're definitely going to do a twofold pick. They're going to, one for team need, and two, what screws the Broncos the most. So I'm with you completely. That's what I would do. Yeah. So the question will be, is Sean going to sit there and wait for the Chiefs, or will Sean and George make a move at the last minute to move up the draft and jump them? We'll see how that all plays out. We've got let me cover this real quick. Okay. Yeah. So you can see it scrolling at the bottom. Are the Broncos still good at free agency? So there was a time, if you remember, like Elway did a lot of crazy stuff. But when he needed a Super Bowl, he went out and got some players. I think we're in that window now. So this is 2023. We signed McGlinchey, Powers, Zach Allen. Okay. Yeah. Right. Samaje Perine, Jared Stidham for a 2-year, $10 million. Chris Manartz, tight end, and Tremont Smith from the Texans. Got rid of Wilson, Glasgow, Purcell, Edmonds, Deshaun Williams. I mean, that's like a C plus, maybe, right? 24, Brandon Jones, Malcolm Roach, Cody Barton, Josh Reynolds, Matt Pert, Throckmorton. Not a lot of big signings there.
No.
Nothing exciting. That's when we got rid of Justin Simmons, Jerry Jeudy, Josie Jewell, and Lloyd Cushenberry. I think in some ways, I feel like we went backwards there a little bit. I don't know. There was some good. I was glad to see one or two of those names go, but all in all,
Cush already got cut.
What's that?
You see, Cushenberry already got cut.
Yeah. So
Shame.
I saw actually people on my timeline trying to get him back.
No.
So last year, Hufanga, Greenlaw, Ingram, Trent Sherfield, J.K. Dobbins. We let go of Pookie, punter, Burton, little Jordan Humphrey, but that doesn't count because we brought him back. So I guess I'm expecting some big moves here. Like the last year were the big moves on defense with Hufanga and Greenlaw. And then at the time, Evan Ingram was a pretty big signing to me. I was pretty excited about that one. Does it say anything about, like hearing this back, does it make you wonder just how aggressive we'll be? We haven't really done a lot in the last 3 seasons that what I would consider aggressive. But this is a team that made the AFC Championship game now, so we should be switching gears here, and we have cap room to spare.
Yeah. I think we're at the point now, Mike, where, hey, we're re-signing the guys that we truly value, so that's good. That's going to limit how many free agents we bring in. Like, remember, like we extended DJ Jones right before free agency last year. He had the best year of his career this past year.
Yeah, it was a great signing.
Correctly. Yeah, I feel like DJ Jones was awesome. And yeah, like Greenlaw, still up in the air, but Greenlaw, Hufanga, and Ingram, man, like those are swings. And I just want to see us take some more swings again. I would say on 2 or 3 more players. Like, let's go and do that. I think it happens at a lot of the positions that we've talked about. Take a swing at linebacker, take a swing at tight end, and a swing at running back. And hey, if you want to talk about making a trade for a wide receiver, I'm cool with that. Seems like the radio stations, man, they're real talking about, trying to make this case for Stephon Diggs.
No,
I don't like Stephon Diggs, but we need our keep to leave, man.
You can't have him. You can't have Stephon Diggs. I'm sorry. The guy's up for charges. He's got his first court appearance in April.
Oh, yes. This won't be till like June if we sign him.
Yeah.
Yes, that's if
I
he's
mean,
cleared.
he better be. I don't know, man. I don't want him, but we'll agree to disagree on that one. If he's cleared and he catches 18 touchdown passes and gains 1,400 yards, then I'll forgive you. But until then, let's get right into it, guys. This is what you're waiting for. Here's the top 5. Here's the 5 that we would break the bank for. Thank you.
Yes.
I talk for a living. Okay, so David and I made our own lists. We did not confer. Now I was trying to be like 5 guys that we could actually fit on the team financially.
Oh,
and I think
okay. Whoops.
So I think we may have gone a little bit over that, but that's okay. We'll figure that out. I mean, it's not like the complete dream team, but I think these are both doable. This is what I came up with first: Tyler Algier, Cade Otton, Leo Chenal, Isaiah Likely, and Alec Pierce. Now, Alec Pierce is probably the one that's going to get overpaid and won't make my list, but I still like this top 5. I think I think if we came away with a free agency with these guys and then went into the draft, we would be sitting in a pretty good spot. What do you think about this list at all? Who would you not take on this list, if anyone?
So Tyler Algier, he might end up being like the best bang for your buck at the running back position, one of the best values. I'm totally cool with that. Cade Otton, he's a tight end that I think is fairly well-rounded. Now, I know his blocking grades or whatever apparently were worse than Troutman last year, but whatever. I'm just gonna ignore that because I really do feel
you
like
don't have to ignore it.
No, I am, because I feel like he's a much better tight end than freaking Adam Troutman. Like, I'm not here to listen to that. Give me Cade Otton over Adam Troutman every single time. Now, let's see. Who'd you have third? Leo Chenal. I think we're all in agreement on there. Have a wonderful, athletic, and smart linebacker to pair with Dre Greenlaw. This guy was making up for the mistakes and the chaos Nick Bolton was, all throughout his career. Leo Chenal is great. So he would be a fantastic Bronco and apparently would cost less than Alex Singleton. So you do that every single time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Isaiah Likely, one of the most underrated, in my opinion, tight ends to hit this free agency class. And man, who cares if he's not the best blocker in the world?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Now, I did have on the linebacker position.
Yeah.
I think we both agree not to like bid on Singleton and bring him back. But what are your thoughts on this Greenlaw and Sternad at linebacker to start the year?
Yes, I'm totally happy with that. Yeah. It would be cost effective, and likely you draft a guy within the first 3 rounds that has some serious upside at linebacker and can make his way, up through the lineup in due time. I mean, when we saw Greenlaw and Sternad, play alongside each other, I mean, that was
one of the best games.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And I mean, both of them play really well in coverage. Sternad, of course, he's not as good when it comes to his run defense as Alex Singleton is. But, I think that we're in a better spot when you have a guy that's clearly not like a blatant target on the defense,
weakness.
Right?
Yeah. The game plan around him.
Yeah. Sternad's not that guy that you make a game plan around. Singleton was obviously a part of other offenses' game plans, especially when they had a real good player at running back. So, yeah, I would love to see it. We could take a chance on some of these younger guys that have been a little bit of injury prone. I mean, again, with free agency, it's very unlikely you find a guy who's perfectly healthy and super productive, because then they're always re-signed by their teams. So it's a risk you got to take with free agency. I would take a risk on Nakobe Dean. and see what he can do. We're still going to bring back Dre Greenlaw, betting that he can play more than 5 games this year. So as long as he doesn't tear his quad in the offseason this year, I think we should be in a good spot.
Don't even say that, man. I when I wrote down my notes on the top 5 free agency targets the first time I wrote it. So this was just sitting and just wrote it down. Nakobe Dean, inside linebacker, was number 1. ETN was number 2. I still had Devin Lloyd.
So this was Devin Lloyd would be awesome.
This was early. Like this was like 2 weeks ago when it first came up. I just wrote this down. Leo Chenal and Cade Otton. So my list has changed a little bit. But Nakobe Dean was on that initial list. But if we brought back Strnad, it's going to be a good deal for us. He's, I think, a better player than Singleton anyway. At least less of a target. Now, I am a Singleton fan in ways, but I don't want him on my team. Okay, so I wish the best for him, but 32 years old, come on. But where was I going with that? But you get those two, Greenlaw, he speaks Spanish, everything's good with his quads or whatever. Give him another shot, Strnad, but you definitely draft a linebacker in this draft. And Broncos country, here are David's top 5 for the Broncos in free agency. He's got ETN 1, Walker, Isaiah Likely, the same, Leo Chenal, the same, and Goddard. So a lot of the same positions, obviously. ETN and Walker's a little greedy, but maybe you didn't understand the assignment. We had to actually be able to afford all 5 of these. I mean, we could maybe.
No,
we sold the farm.
Not understand the assignment whatsoever. Yeah. But here's the thing: if you can grab one of either ETN or
either
Walker,
one of those,
that's great. One of either Isaiah Likely, Dallas Goedert. They're different players, but I think again they upgrade the room and like Dallas Goedert, he'd probably just be on like a 1 or 2 year deal, and I think he's still a very productive player. But ETN, he is my top guy. Go get that home run guy. I mean, I got plenty of videos if you look from like a year ago, just about how going into free agency last year, or is the season prior, but I was like, let's go trade for him. I mean, he's the guy that's closest to, an Alvin Kamara type, a true home run threat that you can get like that. I mean, now you got the chance to just sign him outright. You don't have to give up any draft capital. All these Broncos fans, guys, I know it's been a while since we spent like significant money in free agency, but I mean, my gosh, man, to get good players, you gotta pony up. And I don't mind giving ETN, $10+ million. Kenneth Walker's a really good player too. None of these players are perfect. That's totally fine. They're still a hell of a lot better than the players we have on our team right now. And hey, it's just business. They're worth what teams are willing to pay. So let's actually go out and win one of these free agents. I think that would be nice. Man, and Isaiah Likely. I love this guy. He's a contested catch guy, red zone threat. And then Dallas Goedert, of course, Super Bowl champion. And he does everything the right way. So, number 4, Leo Chenal. I just got to say this. If Alex Singleton truly was the priority that some media outlets have tried to let it be made known that he was to the Broncos, why the hell does Alex Palcheski deal get done before him, huh?
I think DNVR is a little higher on the Singleton re-signing than we are. Nothing against my guys over there. They come on my show all the time. We just disagree on this. I don't see that. Was there anyone else that said, didn't Kliss say this was going to be a priority signing as well?
He said both Singleton and Strnad
are
priorities.
I would replace and with or.
Yeah.
Like one of those two they're going to want back for sure. Guys, I'll get to your comments. I see them up there. There's a ton of them. Just David, real quick. Here's the free agent running backs as we sit here today. Kenneth Walker. I'm gonna kind of do this in order. Okay. As I'm looking at this, I'm gonna say ETN, Algier, Walker, Rico Dowdle, J.K. Dobbins, and my list is going to stop there. I'm not going to include anybody else on the list. It's got to be one of those 5. The reason I move Walker below ETN and Algier is not necessarily fit or anything. It's I think somebody is going to want to pay that guy. I mean, Super Bowl MVP, just like somebody's going to overpay that guy. Like, I don't know if it's going to be Dallas or Cincinnati or somebody crazy. And so as much as I'd love to have him, all other things being equal, maybe I would take him first. Walker, no matter what, but it's not. And I think I would take ETN actually over Algier, but those two are very close to me. Is there anyone else beyond those? And JK could actually come with Dowdle or Algier,
right,
or ETN. Bring them back. No problem with that. That gives you one every down back of proper NFL quality, which we need. 2, a backup who can get you 4.5 yards a carry in J.K. Dobbins, but can't stay healthy, so limit his carries. And then, of course, we all love RJ and love what he can do, but that's not it. How do you feel about that list? Is there anybody left that I'm missing?
Yes,
I don't see anybody.
Yes. You're missing one player who I feel like I would still prioritize over JK, and that would be Rachaad White.
I've got him right behind Dobbins, ahead of Gainwell and Aaron Jones. And
I would put Rachaad White above JK, mainly because he has a track record of better availability, and he can still get those tough yards for you. 6'1", 6 feet, like 215. He's a solid running back.
I would take Dobbins because I think the deal to fit the rest of these guys would be better, and without using him too much, we could kind of save him for the playoff run that I think we're heading for. Who's that? Vix in the house says he wants Algier and Dobbins or ETN and draft Coleman, Washington. Yeah, absolutely A+. I'll take both of those or a combination of those would work.
This is just my theory. If we do sign somebody like Travis Etienne or Kenneth Walker, I think the earliest you see us use a pick on a running back would be round 3. Now, if we sign somebody like Algier as like that main signing, I think anything's on the table as soon as pick 30.
Yeah. I just put this comment up because somebody said, I agree, Mike. And that's only maybe the second time I've seen that in the 2 years I've been doing this. So thank you for that comment, String Guy. No one ever says that.
Yeah. Mike, I mean, Bobby Wagner and Demario Davis are still available, and those guys are much older than Alex Singleton, but they'll be cheap, and they're still more athletic. They're still way better and way more athletic than freaking Alex Singleton.
I'd take Wagner.
Yeah, me too.
Blues for Jarian Price, Emmett Johnson. Is that the Nebraska kid?
I don't know.
Jonah Coleman.
Yeah.
And Jonah Coleman.
Up the wrong comment.
So I've got Price and Coleman on mine. In fact, Blues for. Oh, I had the wrong comment. You're right. Sorry. My assistant took the night off. T. Fishers, I got to shout him out anyway. Rico and JK with RJ. Yes. Draft Adam Randall in the 4th and send it. I don't have anything on Randall. Do you know who Adam Randall is?
Yeah. He's a back from Clemson that absolutely crushed the combine. I think he had a RAS over 9. So
RAS.
Yes, very relative athletic score.
Oh, I know what.
Oh, okay. Well, for the viewers.
For the viewers, of course.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I'm big on the broad jump. And I like when they measure their hands. That's real important to me.
Me too.
It's actually the RAS scores. There are some that are very telling, like like broad jump for tight ends or the what do they call it? The vertical.
Yes.
Seeing some of those numbers was impressive. And we'll get in the tight ends here in a second. Let's get into this right now. I'm going to put you on the spot. Top 3 running backs in the draft for the Broncos. Now, I pretty much just named mine. I'm going to go, well, here, let me get to it. So Coleman, I don't have it in front of me. Washington, right?
Yes.
Got it in my notes. And Price. I think one of those 3 we need to get. These are one of the 3 that we need to get. Name 3. One that we one of the 3 we need to get out of the draft. If you can.
Well, I like Mike Washington a lot. He'd be that guy. And then the other 2 I'd throw in there are Jonah Coleman and Jadarian Price. I mean,
yeah. So we're on the same board there. Okay.
Yeah, like I would hope one of those guys would be available at 62. I just don't feel good about it. Maybe if the Broncos are able to get like an extra 4th or something like that for Ben Powers or a 5th, maybe they can move up in the 2nd round as opposed to moving back like they did last year. I mean, it'd be really great to move up and get one of these running backs.
I know it would. Right in front of Kansas City.
Yeah.
It pains me to even say it.
I know.
All right, but we agree on that one. That's a solid right across the board. I'm gonna throw another one at you. Inside linebackers. CJ Allen, Rodriguez, and then I kind of, since I know this has got to fall a little bit, like Hill probably won't be available, but one of those 3 could. Would you go inside linebacker in the first?
It's not my first choice. Yeah. No, I still would prefer to go offensive line over linebacker.
Yeah. Now, do you know who Jake Golday out of Cincinnati is?
Yeah, he's a very good player.
I mean, I know that's 4 guys. I mean, I think there's kind of choices here. You got any other names in mind? I'd really love to get Rodriguez out of Texas Tech, but he's getting a lot of love right now. Maybe he's not going to be available for us, but some people have us taking CJ Allen out of Georgia. I'd be happy with any of these names.
Yeah, CJ Allen, Jacob Rodriguez, Anthony Hill, Jake Golday, that's a really, really solid 4. If the Broncos wait on inside linebacker a little bit, because again, if you sign somebody like Leo Chenal, I don't think it's as big of a need.
Yeah, then you can do anything.
Yeah, and he's still young. I think he's 25. So you can still draft a guy in the mid-rounds. Some mid-round guys that I think Broncos fans should have their eye on, of course, is I think his first name's Brock Betcher, linebacker, or Bryce Betcher out of Oregon. Really good player, 6'2", 232. And then if you're a Big 12 guy, you've watched him quite a bit. The more that I watch him, the more and more I like him, and I think that he's a fantastic fit for Vance Joseph's defense, and that is BYU linebacker Jack Kelly.
Yeah, Jack Kelly.
Jack Kelly's freaking awesome.
Yeah, really good combine from Jack Kelly, by the way. He opened some eyes, including mine. You know what? Maybe I lied to you guys in Broncos country. Maybe we didn't just do 3. There's just a lot of good inside linebacker options this year, and the Broncos need to do something here. Lucifer says if we get Rodriguez and Stowers in the first 2 picks, it will be legendary. It would be absolutely legendary. T-Fish's Washington, Coleman, or Price would be great if we bring back JK. If we get Algier, Rico, Dal, or ETN, I would use a day 2 pick on. I don't know. I'd be fine if they even went with, if they did both of those. It's such a position of need. It wouldn't bother me. But yeah, if they could move back. No, they wouldn't need to move back. I don't know. I think they could do both. All right. Inside linebackers. Here we go. Let's go wide receivers. Now this one, it doesn't appear that the Broncos care about wide receivers as much as we do. But maybe that's all smoke. As a friend of the show said earlier today, we don't fire the wide receiver coach. And what else did he say? The offensive coordinator, the wide receiver coach, and a couple other things might hint towards they're not as happy with that room as we think. David, do you got any wide receivers? Are there 3 draftable wide receivers? I've got a few names for you here.
Yes.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
Yeah, these are kind of like all over the board, but okay. If he's there at 30, I legitimately think you take him, and he's an automatic difference maker on this team. Texas A&M's KC
Concepcion, yeah, got him too.
He is so good. So
I got him too.
Yeah, I really love him. Now I'm warming up to him as opposed to a few weeks ago. You're selling me if you compare him to being, DJ Moore or, somebody like that. And that's Omar Cooper Jr. from Indiana. And then a guy that I think Broncos country is a little split on, but could be available there at 62. I think he's just a really good fit for what Sean Payton likes to do with his offense, but that would be Alabama receiver Jeremy Bernard. Really good route runner. Some people might feel he's more like a floor play than a ceiling play, but man, I think he's a really good wide receiver.
All right. Original list.
Let's go.
Going back. Who do I got here? I wrote this so small. Looks like Caldwell out of Cincy. I can't read this name, but it's Bernard. It looks like Jeremy
Bernard, yeah.
Jeremy Bernard from Bama. Bryce Lance out of North Dakota State. What do you think about him?
Dude, athletic freak, man. I probably needs a little bit of development time, but we got the wide receivers that can
but if we're picking later,
we're
picking later, that guy could come into play. And that's kind of the way I set this up. Are you in and out on Lemon?
I mean, if he's there at 30, sure. I'm not really thrilled about the idea of trading up for him.
No, I don't want to get into trades. We'll do that in April. No. But for right now, that's cool. So, and then Concepcion was 1, 2, 3. I had him 5th on the list at this time.
Yeah.
If we'd have done the tickers, he probably would have been up there a little higher. I have really starting to like that kid out of A&M. So
yes. Yeah. Home run hitter, man.
Any thoughts on Denzel Boston out of Washington, 6'4", 209. He's an X.
Yeah, he's my kind of wide receiver. I would love him. I just don't think he'll end up going anywhere near pick 30.
So if you go Jordan Tyson, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, I guess Boston too.
Yeah.
I
gotta go Boston over
Concepcion the only one that has a chance to make it to us at 30?
I think so. I think so. And if he's there, you take him.
Take him. Yeah.
Dude, he is so dynamic. We're talking about one like a Jalen Waddle type guy. Like, man, this is him. Or Tyreek Hill, this is him.
Now, of course, you could just take a cornerback there,
or a safety.
Safety. Yeah. If they do, I swear, I already tweeted it out. I'm going to lose my shit.
I'm turning on George Payton if he does that.
Yeah, I'm going to lose my shit. Fields?
Malachi Fields is okay. I mean, for like a mid-round pick. I would rather go with other positions in the mid-rounds.
Yeah, Notre Dame. Probably going to be
his combine
day 2,
he's probably a 3rd or 4th round pick right now.
All right. Biggie, can do kick returns and let Marvin Mims do nothing but concentrate on being a wide receiver. Chip, I don't have anything on Chip, unfortunately. So that's probably getting down into the draft nerd weeds, and I don't get that far. Do you know who that is?
Toledo running back. Okay.
Oh, okay, a running back. All right.
And he's been in college football since 2020. So probably probably a late pick UDFA type guy. Sure. If we can get more out of Marvin Mims as a wide receiver, that's almost like getting a new wide receiver if you actually incorporate him into the offense consistently. So, yeah, if we get a guy that can do returns, I'm cool with that.
All right. Well, we've drafted our running back, we've drafted our wide receiver, and we've drafted our inside linebacker, and we've gone through free agency and picked up all the best players available. Of course, we spent probably $80 million that we had to make room for, but we did. And now we still need to draft a tight end.
Yes.
It's still a position we've got to do something with, right, David? I mean, I'm still on board keeping Ingram because I've said all along I thought he was underutilized. I think Davis Webb fixes that. Yeah. But it's probably time to draft a tight end. Now, I'm not crazy enough to think Sadiq will be there.
He 30. Will not after that combine. No way.
I don't think Eli Stowers. Is it Stowers or Stowers?
Stowers. You got it.
I don't think Stowers will be there either.
Really?
I think that was a crazy combine from him, and I think people get combine crazy. I would have to defer to the draft nerds. But I do
go to
like
the Chiefs at 29, which would suck.
He could. Like the Bowers pick by the Raiders that could have gone sideways on us.
Yeah.
What do you think about my guy Sam Roush out of Stanford, though?
Dude, I like him, man. Just an athletic beast. He's got short arms, but other than that, he's perfect. So
he's got little dinosaur arms, or are they just 32 inches instead of 33 and a half?
They're 33.6 inches. Okay, so he's got some short arms, but you can make up for that with some athleticism. Mm-hmm. And he's a Stanford kid, so he's incredibly smart too. So I would love Sam Roush. There's a lot of these other tight ends outside of Sadiq and Stowers I'd be pumped with.
Let me guess. No.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I'm out on Max Clare.
Yeah, I saw. That was my first no. What about Michael Trigg out of Baylor?
I like Michael Trigg.
Yeah.
Now, kicked off one of his teams, so I'm not really sure. It's okay being a Devo on the ball, but when you get kicked off a team, that is kind of concerning. I love Michael. Yeah.
6'4", 245 pounds.
But we got the locker room.
Good. Yeah.
Ready for a problem child.
We do.
Yeah.
How about Joe Royer out of Cincinnati?
Yeah, I like Joe Royer. There's some other guys I like better than him, though.
Eli Reardon,
dude. I love him, man.
Okay, there it is. I just didn't see his name when I saw him. I knew he was your guy.
Dude, yeah. Reardon's my guy. Go watch his tape in Notre Dame, dude. This guy just moves different. He moves different. The only reason he's fallen is because he tore his ACL or whatever like 2 years ago, or had like back-to-back ACL. Dude, I don't even care. That was like in 2022. It was forever ago. I don't care. This guy moves differently, and he's been healthy since. Also, the Texas kid, Jack Endries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I felt like West Virginia utilized him better. So if you watch like his highlights or stuff from Texas, you might not be like blown away. Go look back at what he was doing at West Virginia, man. He's a really good tight end.
Now, I did a little research today on our wide receiver room, Broncos country. Most expensive wide receiver rooms in the NFL this year. The Denver Broncos are 21st in the league.
That checks out.
So, and they performed about like the 21st wide receiver room in the league.
Yeah,
maybe even worse. So this comment by Big E always seems to be a really good commenter. If the Broncos are as happy with the wide receiver room as they say they are, they need to put their money where their mouth is. Literally about the name of this show, I think, was time to pony up some money or back. But draft a kid out of Louisville.
Ooh, Chris Bell.
Now, isn't he a first round? Wasn't Chris Bell listed as a first round at some point, or was he just getting hyped? I can't remember.
I think he was, but he tore his ACL in like November. So
okay.
That's the deal. I don't know if he'll be ready for camp or not, which is why but man, like Chris Bell, and again, another wide receiver. I would say he's right there below guys like Concepcion, Denzel Boston. But yeah, I think he's another big guy too. I think he's like 6'4" as well and can just go up and get it. Like, yeah. Big E, he knows what he's talking about with Chris Bell.
He does. I like it. But no, we're not trading up to the 10th to get Sadiq for a tight end.
We don't even know if we use tight ends yet.
Yeah, so exactly.
That's what makes me a little bit nervous about using our first-round pick on one.
If we had tight ends running all over the place, getting yards after the catch and catching touchdowns, and he was not running a clear route, I'd be more inclined to do that. Monarchist.
Yeah.
What do we think about Delp? David, I see your eyes lit up.
Dude, I'm a fan of Oscar Delp. This tight end class has a lot of very good athletes all throughout the draft. So, like inside linebacker too, this could be a draft where you take 2 tight ends or you take 2 inside linebackers. It would be really, really great. But for those positions, I would always bet. I'd rather take big bets on just fantastic athletes. I know Drew Sanders did not work out, but that was like, in my opinion, that was the right process of go and get a guy that's a super athlete and see what he can do. We kind of screwed it up because we couldn't decide what position we wanted him to play. Stop that.
I hate when we do that.
Yeah. And then he just became injury prone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. But it was the right gamble. It just didn't work out.
Carnell Tate, Ohio State. You said, did you talk about him?
No, because I don't think he'll be anywhere near our pick 30. Yeah. He'll go in the top 15.
I say this every year. I retweet this every year. There are 200 players that won't be available in the first round when you pick, according to Twitter. Like, he's never going to be there. He's never going to be there. And last year he proved again when, was it Omarion Hampton and Travion Henderson or Judd? I mean, all these players were available to us and we just never took them. So it's a depressing thought to think that way. And I shouldn't think that way, but you never know what these guys are going to do in the draft. Right now we'll get through free agency first, but Justin Jolly is elite. Yep. Check out Gene Michael Gillenborg, former basketball player.
Wyoming
former basketball player on the practice squad right now.
They can hoop together.
Yeah, they can play basketball, during the game when they're inactive.
Yeah.
So, I said, have anything else? I think we kind of got it. I just want to bring your.
I got a question for you, Mike.
Oh, God, I can't wait. What do you got?
What do you think about the rumor mill floating the idea of a Sutton for AJ Brown trade?
I don't like it. So now, in some ways, I like it. I will admit that. Like, I think that would be it. They're different players to me. I think Brown's probably a better receiver, but I don't know that I would trade Sutton for that trade. That's probably just me. He's one of our longest tenured players.
Yeah.
He resigned. He had over 1,000 yards. Again, he made some incredible plays for us this year. Maybe even say he won a game or two for us this year. I don't know.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not about that. I think they'd find somebody else to trade if they needed to. And who's to say that they would even want Sutton? I mean, isn't that just something that's being floated around?
Yeah. I kind of broke down how the traded contracts would work. And it's like AJ Brown and Cortland Sutton, if they're traded for, like their contracts are so much more friendly for the team that they're going to. So it could really work out to where, I mean, I think AJ Brown's cap hits, if they were to trade for him, it's like 10 million, 11 million, 18 million, and 18 million the next 4 years.
Wow.
And for Philly, it goes down quite a bit for Sutton as well. So, yeah, like I think in that respect, and you're attaching a pick, with Sutton, I think it could make sense. If they just want another really good wide receiver there with Devontae Smith, that again, he's Sutton's never going to be a problem. That would be an interesting risk worth considering. There would be some void years attached to AJ Brown's contract after his contract expires, so you do have some dead money like for the next 2-3 years after his contract is up, and that's kind of also why his cap hit would be a little low. But yeah, you're talking about throughout his time theoretically in Denver, him never having a cap hit above $18 million. That's something I think that's very attractive. But yeah, it would suck. I mean, I'm a big Sutton fan, so it hurts to see him go. But if you get a better player, then you got to consider it.
So it looks like the cap hit would be 17.5. I've got him at over the cap has him at 23. But those are some prorated signing bonuses and all, workout bonuses and stuff.
Yeah, for this year.
But for this year, it would be 17 and a half. Dead
it's like
cap.
a difference of $1 million.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Definitely doable in that respect. Could they play at the same time on the field?
I would like to think that they could.
Are they too
some people
similar?
might argue.
Are they
Maybe
too similar?
Too similar, but I'm just the believer of like, dude, just get the best players on the field possible and just make it work.
Yeah, I know there's always a X, a Y, and a Z, and a big Y or a big X or whatever.
I think you could play Court in the slot, and he would eat.
I mean, I'm with you. Put the best guys out on the field and make plays for them, right plays for them, design plays for them. Sean, you're famous for designing plays. You tell me you got to have a certain size of a guy for a play to work. I don't believe that. Are we going to restructure anybody? Yeah, probably. There'll be some restructures done. I'm not sure who they'll do, but we generally do.
Is probably the guy to watch. Quinn Miners.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Certainly.
We should not restructure McGlinchey again because his cap hit will be insane the next
we're gonna have to let that one ride out because the cap hit on that one is it's going to be difficult to deal with. He's playing well though. And we still haven't drafted a tackle since we drafted Garrett Bowles in 2017.
We could pick 30 at a guy to play guard and then eventually tackle,
I wouldn't be against it. As much as I want my weapons, I would understand that move better than a defensive back.
I think Palcho is fine. I think he's a fine stopgap.
Mm-hmm.
But if you trade Ben Powers, you most definitely bring in competition for him at guard. Of course, Nick Gargiulo will be back. Maybe he can surprise again. But
is he still on injured reserve? Is that it, or is he done?
Yeah. He
can come back.
Yeah, he'll be back. But like Emmanuel Pregnon at 30, I'd be totally cool with. But he can't play tackle. He's just a plug and play guard. But I think he'll be a really good one.
Well, kind of like what we did. I think we do have a history of spending some money. So I'm not worried about the Broncos not wanting to spend money, but they just seem to spend, like last year, $70 million on 2 defensive players. So contract value, $20 million guaranteed for Hufanga. I think Greenlaw was like 12 or 13 million guaranteed. Yeah. So they're not afraid. They guaranteed Ingram $16 million.
I know.
So I see them spending the money, guys. I think I kind of like what we did here. I don't know if it's much different than what anybody else has done. I don't watch other stuff, but I will say, with the 3 names we gave you guys for each position, there's a way to get all of them in the draft. They're not all first round picks. Like it could all be worked, and some of it will all depend on what we do next week in free agency, David. So are you, I know you guys are like prepping for free agency. You got all, it seems like you know every damn name I throw at you. Like, I guess, how confident are you that next week we're going to be breaking in on Thursday with a huge story on a signing that the Broncos made?
Yeah, I feel like a good 8. I feel like a good 8 out of 10. So
not like Josh Reynolds or
no, we'll probably sign some dumb wide receiver like that again, but
we probably will.
We do every year, and then we just cut them at some point during the season.
Some camp body.
Yeah, but we really need a top tier running back. It seems like all the reporters seem to think that we're going to be super aggressive with that, and it sounds like we might even set the market there. So again, guys, stop saying running backs are overpriced. You never want to overpay a running back when we haven't had a good run game here in over 10 years. All right, trying to do this whole bargain basement thing, and this is what I don't get. Okay, we're talking about Breece Hall or Kenneth Walker getting like $14 million. And we're talking about wanting to bring in, a top tier wide receiver, Jalen Waddle. You think Jalen Waddle, on a good day, he would get like 10 targets, and that guy's getting $30 million a year with his next contract, probably, right? Running backs are still so undervalued for what they do to teams or how they help teams.
They soak up a lot of money. When the running back is carrying the load, literally. The David Montgomery trade, by the way, it was a 4th round pick, offensive lineman Scruggs, and a 7th round pick. And I think it was also a pick on the next year too, or some crap like that. By the way, just a quick note. I saw our friends at DNVR pumping, if JFM leaves, keep an eye on Cameron Jordan.
That'd be sick.
Eight-time Pro Bowler defensive end Cameron Jordan spent 15 years with the Saints. He had 10.5 sacks last year. This is one of Sean Payton's guys, David. What do you say?
Yeah. I mean,
he's a year older than Von Miller. I just want to throw that out there.
I know, but he can still ball. It would be nice to have, another body in there that has been productive. He'd be a great fit here, man. Only on a cheap, like 1-year deal, And I know Vaughn made his case of wanting to come back. I got to be honest, Mike. I had no idea he still had 9 sacks last year. That's insane. So if you trade Dondrea Tillman, fine, bring back Vaughn.
Wow. You don't want to trade Tillman, though, do you?
I mean, I'm kind of open to it because I thought what we saw from Q Robinson was really awesome.
Now, I don't think those two are mutually exclusive. I agree with you. I want to see more of Q Robinson on the field for sure. But I don't know.
We got Jay Coop and Ellis,
What could we get for Cooper or Ellis?
I don't know what we could get for Cooper. We'll find out. I mean, I don't know about this narrative about him sucking.
Who?
I think Cooper. People are like, man, this guy sucks.
He does not suck at all.
No, he does not suck. And again, this isn't based on any information, but
no, I'm saying you're trying to get somebody else on the field.
Injured. I feel like he was
playing on the field.
Yeah, severely injured. Okay.
How did we start this conversation? Who were we talking about? 92, right?
Dondrea Tillman.
So Tillman, I mean, he led the team in interceptions for like half the season. I mean, we kind of need him in that defensive backfield. He had 2 interceptions when nobody else did. Dude, we got to figure out a way to turn the ball over more, which is why we got rid of our defensive back coach. So there's going to be improvements there too. We're going to start going for the ball.
But Tillman, he's on an affordable deal.
Keep
1.2 million, something like that. Or you trade him.
If you can get something for him, a fourth.
Yeah.
Okay. You sold me. But if not, keep him. He's a good player. I mean, at least until we find out who we're replacing JFM with.
Yes.
Like I don't want to take too many hits, even though I want weapons. I still want to have somebody up on the offensive line or around it. But no, I'm not on board with Vaughn coming back. I mean, if there was room, but I just don't have anybody I want to get rid of. If it was, but like, honestly, if Cam Jordan wants to come play for Sean Payton for a year, what's the harm in it? He had 10.5 sacks last year. I'd be all down for it. Broncos country, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think about who we picked, who we didn't pick, what your thoughts are, and please head over to. I gotta do a little Cal sheet thing here, don't I? Before I give my secret away for the show, I'll have to tease with this. So, what do you got to say about Cal sheet?
Yeah, Cal sheet. If you want to make a prediction on who the Broncos pick with their 30th overall pick, they're getting those things rolling on Cal sheet. Use the code DTB for a $10 bonus when you deposit 10. But outside of that, you can make predictions on where some of these free agents are going. I wish it could have been Breece Hall, but it is what it is.
Breece Hall isn't over until it's over, by the way. That'll just be a trade instead of, that'd be a big one.
Dude, what about, because, people brought up Jarrett Stidham, Ben Powers, and a fourth for Breece Hall, but why don't you throw Dondrea Tillman in there too? Would you give up all four of those guys for Breece Hall?
Who are the four? Steady,
Ben Powers, Dondrea Tillman, and like the Saints pick.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'd do that too. Jets would be idiots to take that trade, but sure.
I'll do it. Sure. We'll do anything. Here's my teaser. The first signing the Broncos are going to make is going to be Travis Etienne. And
let's go.
That's going to happen. So get on board with that, Broncos country. Get on board with David Talks Broncos, who is the best in the business. I'm Mike Carmelini. This is the Mile High Monsters. We will catch you next Thursday. And something happens between then, maybe we'll jump on. But until then, go Broncos. Love you guys.
Bye.
Peace.
Ooh, thanks, Mike.